What is happening, everybody? My name's Seven and welcome to a Fortnite video. Now in today's video I have some amazing footage for you guys, as well as lots more information about the new update that is coming as of, I believe, Wednesday next week, which is roughly around the time these updates tend to go live. Now we all know that there is a new city coming to the map. There is also a bunch of other points of interest which we'll talk about in this video, and not only that, I'll also show you exclusive footage as well of this, so you're going to get to see some sneak peeks about what is actually coming. I cannot wait to show you. And we also go and visit the locations where these places are going to appear. Not only do we have a new city, underground mines, we also have motels and scrapyards and so many more cool things, and so much other stuff also getting taken away from the map as well. So if you enjoyed this video, please do hit that like button. Now let's get straight into today's video. Now all of the new points of interest are going to be on the left hand side of the map, which is the west side. So everyone was predicting that the new city would be between Pleasant Park and Greasy Grove, and you were not wrong. In the newest footage that we can actually take a look of, there is actual background footage of Loot Lake, which is complying with the factor of, hey, it's over the left hand side of the map without a doubt. As you can see from this screenshot up in the top left hand corner, you can actually see the two islands in the middle of Loot Lake. So I decided, let's jump straight into the game and let's take a look at roughly whereabouts this city is going to be. Now in the comment section below, while we're having a look at the location for where this new city is going to be, please do take guesses at what you believe the new city is going to be called. Obviously there is a rule that applies to the names of the locations in Fortnite Battle Royale, such as Greasy Grove, Salty Springs, Flush Factory, etc. So it has to be something city. So it begins with C and will end with city. So what is it? You put it in the comments. The winner will be, of course, the one who guesses it right. I cannot wait to find out what you guys are guessing. But as you can see from over in this area here, this has been quite an empty area for quite some time. It's the area that you find between the Loot Lake, Pleasant Park and Greasy Grove. Now there isn't much here other than the odd little abandoned building, the little sheds, the couple of lorries that you can find on the road as well, and you've got lots of hills around this area that you can obviously go and visit. Now if you come over the brow of this hill, which leads towards the waterfall at the very edge of Loot Lake, you'll be able to see the hills that are very, very similar to the ones that we find in the screenshot I just showed you before. This isn't too far away from that little campsite, the one with the 3 caravan parks. As you can see both of the islands perfectly lined up, which is telling me right here, right now, will be where the city will land. I cannot wait to get myself roaming around, checking out all the buildings, getting the new loot boxes and all the crates, etc. Now if you're somebody who also loves the Christmas trees and the extra chests as well, they will be taking those away once the season ends, which will be in February. As expected, there'll be a new season that'll restart, and then obviously Battle Pass will restart and all that cool stuff. But instead of worrying about those chests being removed, don't worry. With the new points of interest between these areas on the left hand side, you're going to get more ammo boxes and more chests appearing on the map. So those trees that will be taken away, they'll be compensated for by the new ones coming in these new points of interest. In addition to these new points of interest being applied into the game, they've also stated that they are working on making the map a lot more interactive and more developed in the different biomes. So, for example, if you've ever played Minecraft, you have the snow biomes, you have the swamps, then you have the standard areas, you have the very forest, deep, very intense, you know, massively saturated jungle areas. And they've basically taken this concept, they've applied it into Battle Royale's map, and so when you ever go into an area that is a swamp, it will feel a lot more like a swamp. It'll be very much more customized to that biome, and whenever you're up in the mountains it will feel like that, and whenever you're in a forest it will feel more foresty. Okay, that's the best way to put it. So they customized the areas and developed the environments to make it more immersive based upon the biome that we're centered in. I've also been thinking as well, based upon the top left hand corner being a pretty boring area until this new update lands, the zone never seems to really go and finish up in that top left hand corner, and it's very rarely on the bottom left hand corner. It's always kind of center mass or more to the east side. But with this new update, the west side is going to get some love, and those zones are going to start changing. I can guarantee you that we're going to get some cool end finishes at some of the new points of interest. So as promised, here is another point of interest. This is the motel, and I have found the location as to which this place will be applied. And once again, just like I said before, it is going to be focused on the left hand side of the map. So let's jump in, I'll show you the location, then take some guesses in the comments what you think the motel will be called. On the other side of Pleasant Park in the top left hand corner is the loot run area that I mentioned the other day in my newest video. Now when we're going to go jumping over this area, we're going to pass over the top of actual Pleasant Park, we're going to miss a couple of hills to the left and the right, and in the centerpiece there is going to be one standalone abandoned abandoned building. Now, when we look at the screenshot of the motel, it's very obvious that the hills around this area are the same ones that you find in this screenshot and in the footage that Fortnite have basically pushed out there. Not only that, this area is so flat in the sense that there's a little valley and it's perfectly laid out to apply buildings and designs, etc. into this area. There really isn't much going on here at this moment in time other than being able to go to what I call the magical mattress, which sometimes, you know, drops nice ARs or just ammo or maybe sometimes a shield, but that was a part of my loot run. Now, when you jump down here, obviously you can see in the background, this is of course the actual mattress. Now, the beautiful mattress didn't give us much today. And then we head over to the actual abandoned building. Now, there's simply just one standalone chest here, so it has to be, you know, a big risk to land in this area, or you have to be really slow paced and want to stay out of the way. But when it comes to this motel being here, I guarantee there will be multiple chests and it's going to be so much fun. Now, one thing they didn't highlight very much in their newest release is the fact about the new underground mines. There is a mention of that in the game. If you've seen it on the menu, then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. On the home screen, when you load up the Fortnite game, it actually says, hey, there will be, you know, underground mines, the city, etc. It'll be coming in next week's update, so everyone knows clearly, hey, it's coming very, very soon. They didn't elaborate very much on these underground mines, but I've played it in Save the World and I've been in these mines themselves. Now, in the screenshot of the city that I'm showing on screen, you can see how the road is kind of dipping under. Whether this is just like an underpass that leads to a different part of the city, or whether this is the beginning to maybe a mine, that would be really cool to see. I'd like to see these mines all over the map, just kind of give some level to the terrain that just currently doesn't exist. Not only that though, it also gives players a better chance at surviving. For example, if you're in a sticky situation and you really don't have any meds and you just haven't got any ammo, or you feel like you're going to go into a conflict and you're going to lose, you could always run and dip and run into one of these mines. Or if you're just somebody who, like, say for example, is used to playing PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds where they have these military bunkers, you always are guaranteed to get at least one awesome item from them, so these could be very important areas to go and grab quick initial good loot in the actual game. I'm really looking forward to find out more about that, but there wasn't much mentioned. The next thing that they mentioned is an actual scrapyard. This is really cool. We get to see two moments of the scrapyard in their newest release, and it just looks like kind of a complex area, very similar to the crate area that we don't actually currently have a name for. So hopefully that place gets named in this new update as well. It's just pretty much a massive, massive place to go and actual farm lots of metal. So you can imagine people like myself who do some crazy ass builds are going to probably land in a place like this to get lots of metal instead of jumping to the caravan or over to the crate area. So it's going to be interesting. And once again, guess in the comments what you believe this place will be named. It's going to be so cool. However, I didn't really find out an area of interest where this might be placed. I have a feeling it's going to be below Greasy Grove and between Greasy Grove and Flush Factory, because there is a lot of empty space down there. So hopefully it gets appointed somewhere around that area, and it might entice players to jump to the bottom left hand corner of the map that little bit more. Taking a look at the area from above in the sky, obviously pulled my glider nice and early. We're over here by Greasy Grove, one of my favorite locations. However, the only issue with this location, like I stated before, is that on this west side it just takes too long to get anywhere once you've finished looting. You kill everyone in that town and then you start heading into Salty Springs, but that run is very painful, especially if the zone doesn't favor you at all, which is very rare, but it does happen. Sometimes it does favor Greasy Grove. But this open vast area here between Flush Factory and Greasy Grove is the area I believe that this new scrapyard will be. The hills around this area kind of suit the area very, very well. The landscape looks pretty similar to it as well. And as in a moment, I'll show you on the map as well whereabouts we are specifically landing. Now, not a lot of people actually come over this way. A lot of people have been heading more to like Flush Factory recently to get the tree spawns for the actual Christmas chests and then heading over to the farm. But when you're heading, like I say before, into an area like Salty Springs, it becomes a very large pain. So looking at the map, you can see that all of this area here just needs something. Now we know above up here we're going to end up having some form of city. Above Pleasant Park we're going to get something, and around this area we'll hopefully get some more too. Now as I killed a random guy there, I don't know what happened. I don't even know. That was just pure luck, just telling you. But yeah, as you can see, if this zone had been over the top of me while this new location was here, I would have been able to grab all the loot I wanted and then head over into the scrapyard, or maybe head further up Greasy Grove, then head into Salty Springs. It would have just been really, really cool. Could I please also note as well, I was only messing around when getting this footage. I literally just recorded it and I found my first ever campsite. It has taken me this long to find a campfire, and I've been playing endless amounts of games and I end up finding everything I want. I find the boogie bomb, random player, and I find the campsite, and I don't even need it. I just thought I'd put it down just for that extra additional footage in the background for you guys. Still, I still believe that's way too rare. Just as a pointer, completely off topic. So today, that is an overlook at all of the information that they've provided so far. I'll cover more when it does land. Are you hyped for this city? Because I am. And are you hyped for all these other points of interest? Because I definitely am. This map is going to just get better and better and better, and so is Fortnite in general. Thank you for watching. I'll speak to you on the comments. Peace.